my zoom camera.
Right.
And I'm going to do some filming down there.
Why?
Down there. And then I'm going to get my drone up and put my drone over.
That's private property.
No, this isn't. This is...
No, that's private property in there, and you says you've got to put the drone in there, and you're filming in there.
Yeah.
Why? For what reason?
It's interesting.
Okay.
So I'm going to film and put my drone over.
Yeah, can you not film me, please?
Sorry?
Can you not film me?
Will you come out to me?
Yeah, because I'm telling you, just don't film me, please.
Yeah, I'll just do a little video.
I've already asked this guy to stop filming. Okay. He's now got a drone inside our property. Can you sort of...
So, this is an emergency response building for the police and different units within the police. Okay. Yeah. I will have to require your ID and stuff. As it is an emergency, it isn't permitted for drones to be flying with camera capabilities with a view into our car park. Do you understand that?
No.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
No.
Right, okay, I'll put... Your drone has camera capabilities. I've seen that from your device,
yeah.
Okay, this is an emergency hub for the police, okay? It's not permitted in a zone for any drones with camera capabilities to be flying near it.
Who said that?
Okay, my supervisor.
No.
Well, she did.
No,
so
I need to tell you legislation.
I don't want you to tell me legislation. Can I require your ID? Would you be willing to give me that?
What ID?
Well, for yourself, sir, do you carry any ID, driver's license, passport, etc.?
I'm not going anywhere. I'm not driving license. I'm not driving. I'm not going on holiday.
Do you have any identification to say you can be...
Today's video features one of the most complex and legally tangled encounters so far. An independent drone auditor sets out to record footage of a national grid facility, a location that immediately sparks concern, confusion, and confrontation. What begins as a simple drone flight quickly escalates into a full-scale misunderstanding of UK drone laws, with both police officers and site workers demonstrating limited knowledge of the actual regulations. In this breakdown, we'll explore who's in the right, who's mistaken, and why airspace law is far more intricate than most people realize. Expect a mix of legal confusion, misplaced confidence, and a memorable example of how not to interpret Civil Aviation Authority guidelines. Grab some popcorn, this one delivers drama, insight, and a few ironic twists along the way.
Is that the make?
Yeah.
What's the model?
No, Mini 3,
Oh,
DJI, DJI, Mini 3.
DJR. Thank you. Does it have audio capability, sir?
No.
It's just camera quality. Does it have any different camera specifications on it, heat mapping, etc.? So it's just a regular camera?
It's a little plastic toy.
That's fine, sir, but you have to realise you are flying it over what potentially is a very dangerous place for a drone to be flying over, a national grid hub with electric components in it, which if your drone gets struck or crashes down could cause a disaster for the surrounding area, as well as an emergency department with radio towers and electronic capabilities that could also be affected by your drone. Okay, if you lose control. Well, yes,
lose
sir.
control.
It can. Well, I don't know, sir. Can be from electrical fault, mechanical fault, your own fault, or an atmospheric fault. It could come down and...
The worker's reaction perfectly illustrates a common misunderstanding between private property ownership and public filming rights. Many assume that if a company owns the land, it also controls the airspace above it. But that's not how it works. In the UK, airspace is managed and regulated by the Civil Aviation Authority, not private landowners. As long as the drone operator flies safely, stays within legal altitude limits, and follows CAA guidelines, they're fully entitled to capture footage, even if someone on the ground objects. It raises an interesting question. Should employees have the power to restrict filming when the airspace itself belongs to the public?
Drone legislation, and you haven't told me yet, so
I did.
maybe you don't know enough about drones.
I asked to educate you. You said you didn't want to be educated.
Then you said you wouldn't, so please educate me about the legislation.
What do you want me to do? It's legal. It's legal.
It's not legal because it's not permitted on these premises, sir.
Yeah, this is a public accessible road.
This is a public accessible road. However, you are in a vicinity with a drone with camera capabilities that can see within there.
Well, actually, I didn't put it in there, but...
However, your drone was up and you've been in this area.
However, let me educate you on that. Despite I'm saying I haven't been there, I'm allowed. It's perfectly lawful.
What are you filming on the National Grid?
It's interesting, isn't it?
Okay, but obviously they asked you to stop.
Yeah.
Why didn't you?
Because I go round filming industrial sites.
Which I can completely understand. But if they've asked you to stop filming...
I didn't go in.
No, I know you
I'm
didn't
staying
go
out
in.
on the public area.
I know, but you're filming over on their land, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when they ask you to stop, you have to stop.
Who says so?
It's in legislation, and I'll be honest, I don't know the legislation from the top of my head. That's why we're speaking to our supervisors that's looking into the legislation. Okay.
Legislation.
Yeah, but that's why we're getting our supervisors to check legislation. Because I'll be honest, I don't deal with drones. I don't really know drones. We have a specific team that deal with drones.
I know, you have a drone unit.
Exactly. So obviously I'm not capable to be able to say...
I know you have a drone unit.
You have your drone ID operating license on you.
No, I don't need to show you that.
Yeah, but you do if you're...
This is where the tension really starts to rise. The worker, convinced that the drone's presence amounts to trespassing, calls for backup. But here's the key point. You can't trespass in the air. Trespass laws apply to physical entry onto land, not to aircraft operating in legally navigable airspace. This misconception is surprisingly widespread, shared by businesses, police officers, and even local councils, who often confuse personal discomfort with actual illegality. The reality is simple. If a drone operator is flying safely, following Civil Aviation Authority distance and privacy regulations, and maintaining responsible control, they're completely within their rights, no matter how much someone objects.
Don't speak to me like that,
What do you
okay?
mean?
Let's keep it civil,
I am
okay?
keeping
You're
it
speaking
civil.
to me like I'm a child.
Well, you're talking to me like a child.
I'm not. I'm trying to ask you questions.
I offer to educate you about why I'm doing this.
Why are you doing
because
this?
Because I enjoy it.
Right, okay.
I come out on a public area.
That's fine.
I don't go into private areas.
That's fine, but what I'm saying is your drone was in the aerospace of a private
and
area.
you're allowed.
I know, I fully
You're
get
allowed.
that. However, you have to take in risk factors.
Yeah.
There's people here who don't want to be filmed. Have you got their consent to be filmed?
I'm out here in the public area.
Yes, that's fine, but there were people out there like that now who could have been videoed.
The drone is not being
public
it's not videoing it.
just to ask. Yeah, but it has video capabilities, doesn't it?
And do you know what I did when I got here?
Did you ask for everyone's
I
consent?
buzzed them and said, just to let you know, everyone, did you?
Here's where the first major turning point unfolds. An officer arrives and immediately insists that drones cannot be flown near an emergency hub, which sounds official, but in this case, isn't accurate. There are no Civil Aviation Authority restrictions that prohibit filming police car parks unless the location is part of an officially designated no-fly zone. This situation highlights a recurring issue: the clash between internal police policies and actual national airspace law. A supervisor's memo or internal directive doesn't override CAA regulations, no matter how confidently it's cited. So when an officer justifies their stance with, "My supervisor told me," it carries about as much weight as saying, "My friend read it online." It raises the question, who should really set the standard? Trained airspace regulators or individual interpretations of the law?
Especially if you're filming into a police station, which I'm not saying that you have, but I'm just saying you've got to understand that we take vulnerable victims back to police stations. They're not going to want to be filmed, are they? I'm sure that you wouldn't want to be filmed if you had to go to a police station. Okay, we have sensitive information in police stations. We have people that park their personal cars in police stations, and obviously that could be quite dangerous if that information gets out about what car we drive, our registrations, things like that. So we have to be able to protect ourselves, because at the end of the day, this is just a job, isn't it?
Officer.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to film
Listen to
above
me.
the police station.
You're not
I
allowed
am
if
allowed.
there's sensitive information in there, okay?
Then you should keep that concealed.
Which we do. But at the end of the day, if you were a victim, okay, you wouldn't want to be filmed by somebody, would you?
Who am I filming?
I'm not saying you're filming anybody, but I'm just saying if you were a victim and you wanted to come here and do a statement or give anything to the police, you wouldn't want to be filmed, would you? Okay, I know I certainly wouldn't want to be filmed. Okay, so we have to keep the best interests of everyone. And I understand you find all of this interesting, that's fine.
It's interesting.
But it's a police station, okay? Like if you were going into a police station...
At this point, the officer changes approach. from claiming the drone can't be flown there to demanding the auditor's ID. This is a classic escalation tactic often used when an officer's legal position starts to weaken. However, under UK law, unless there's reasonable suspicion that a crime has been committed, individuals are under no obligation to provide identification. Since operating a drone in this context isn't a criminal act, the demand carries no legal weight. The auditor calmly explains that his drone weighs under 250 grams, which means it doesn't require a pilot license under CAA regulations. This moment perfectly demonstrates why auditors take the time to study the law, because knowledge becomes the strongest form of protection when authority misunderstands its own boundaries.
Because at the end of the day, that's my personal car. Once I leave work, I leave work. Yeah? Do you understand? Can you understand that?
And my drone isn't picking up number plates.
But can you understand that, though?
But no, shall I tell you, people...
No, I'm asking you a question. Can you understand that?
What?
Police officers and other police staff in this building, they park their cars all along here. Their cars are parked along here. Okay, so they don't want to be filmed when leaving work and that be put all over the internet, because that can become quite dangerous to people that hate the police and want to cause us harm. Okay?
No one hates the police.
Well, there's certain people that do, and I can completely understand why they do, okay?
I'm not filming no one. No one's leaving work. I'm not filming. I'm filming the drone.
Yeah, but you've got a drone up that covers quite, I'm guessing, a lot of coverage around on the floor. Obviously, I don't know. I don't fly drones. I don't know what a drone really does, okay?
You should.
But I don't have a chat with you, and that's what we're doing.
Okay.
So we haven't actually had any calls.
Okay.
We've just been told that someone was outside.
Yeah. So everything's good.
But
I'm
we
doing
do
my
need your
drone.
details. Under Section 50 of the Police Reform Act, I'm requiring you to give me your details.
Hang on. Before you go any further, Constable, Section 50 of the Police is antisocial behaviour.
Yeah.
Now, I'm in a... Section 50 is designed antisocial behaviour, and we know where it is, in town centres or in car parks with kids on bikes and motorbikes
It's
and
not
cars.
just for that, but yeah.
People committing antisocial behaviour. I'm a law-abiding citizen.
No, we're not saying we're not at all.
Okay, I'm doing my drone
How
flying.
about, why don't I get my inspector out here if you feel more comfortable? No, he wants...
Do you want our inspector someone's advice? So I have spoke to our drone unit, so you know. That's who I was on the call to. You are permitted to fly here. That's all I wanted to check. Okay, I don't require any ID. Okay. I appreciate that. I appreciate you cooperating and landing your drone for us, okay? So all I'll say though is we do have cars and vans here that are on response calls, doing 999 calls. I understand that you'll be down on your remote if you are filming. Just keep in mind for that. Sometimes we don't put sirens on straight away, just due to public noise pollution. So keep an eye out, okay? Obviously we don't want you injured. Obviously we'll try as well, but in an emergency, obviously it can run. Okay, do you understand that?
Yeah, I understand.
Right, all I say is I appreciate that. However, I don't want any sort of fights breaking out. So if they start shouting at you, mate,
I'm going to move away.
Yeah, mate, exactly.
I'm being sensible. I'm just flying my hobby.
I understand that at all. Thank you for cooperating with us. What I want to say is just keep mindful, obviously, if they start shouting and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Let's back off and just keep mindful of these roads as well. You were on a public road. Yeah. Stick to pavement, stick to public footpaths.
The officer then warns that the drone could crash and cause an electrical disaster or disrupt radio signals. A dramatic claim, but one that's scientifically far-fetched. Modern drones like the DJI Mini 3 are equipped with advanced safety systems, including GPS stabilization, obstacle detection, and automatic return-to-home features, making such accidents extremely rare. The chance of one randomly falling onto sensitive infrastructure is practically negligible. What's really unfolding here isn't a genuine safety concern, but a power struggle, the officer using exaggerated threats in an attempt to regain authority in a situation where the legal ground has already slipped away.